island just south of Bougainville. To this tropical island, still largely untouched by the outside world, Conzinc Riotinto Australia sends geologists to search for minerals. Along the coast of Bougainville are the missions, the government administration, plantations, and the few trade stores. These, with the native villagers, make up the scattered coastal settlements. Close by are the rugged mountains, and beyond are only villages, for there are no roads, and walking is long and difficult. On this jungle-covered mountainous island there are two volcanoes still mildly active. Work on the plantations provides most of the jobs for the islanders. Cocoa is often grown alongside the coconut trees. But copra is Bougainville's main export. This is a fertile island whose rich natural resources are still largely undeveloped. Bougainville is under trusteeship to Australia from the United Nations. But history also links the two countries, for here Australians, helped by many of the local population, fought for many bitter months during World War II. Today, geologists, in a similar spirit of courage and perseverance, go out to live and work in the jungle in search of minerals for tomorrow's world. Behind such prospecting work is Conzinc Riotinto Exploration, whose head office is in Melbourne. CRA is one of Australia's largest mining companies. It produces lead, zinc, copper, iron, uranium, and aluminium. Under the leadership of the chairman, Sir Maurice Morby, and directed by Haddon King, CRA Exploration sends geologists all over Australia to search for other deposits, for other types of metals, for new mines must always be found. The latest discovery is the iron ore deposit at Mount Tom Price in the Hamersleys. Some years ago, CRA started to search for worthwhile deposits of low-grade copper. Beginning in eastern Queensland, the search extended into New Guinea. Today, the exploration team is continuing its work in the Solomon Islands on Bougainville. As we come to this rugged country, where to travel a short distance, men must walk for hours. One small gold mine once operated. The old heavy gold mining equipment now lies rusting in the jungle. Its transport by foot through the difficult terrain must have been a gigantic task. Copper is often found with gold, and CRA geologists, reading the old reports and equipment, hoping to find copper or other mineral deposits. As the prospectors make for an abandoned gold mine near the top of the main range, the debris from the mine begins to show the green color that indicates the presence of copper. The geologists are only 12 miles as the crow flies from Kieto and the coast, but they've already been walking for 2 days in the sticky heat. At the entrance to the mine, the prospectors examine the rocks, where they see the indications of copper mineralization that they'd hoped to find. The other old discovery in the valley also contains copper. The geologists immediately see the telltale green copper mineralization. The signs are good, but this is only a lead. Months and sometimes years of sampling and drilling and testing must be done before the value of a mineral deposit can be known. is done by making a thorough examination of the geology of the surrounding country. The prospectors start at the mouth of the river. Then they work their way up to the various junctions of the streams where they make tests and take samples. By a process of elimination, slowly and surely the rough general boundaries of the prospect are established. But always the geologists are on the lookout for any mineral which might be of use. Chance still plays a part in mining. The rocks are carefully examined, and ultimately all the information that the geologists are gathering will be pieced together to give a fuller geological understanding of the area. The soil and rock samples that are taken are sent to the CRA chemist at Kieta or to Australia for laboratory tests that will show the minerals present in the soil. The acidity of the water is also of interest. And today, modern equipment enables prospectors to make many such tests on the spot. Often the going is difficult, and the geologists have to push through thick jungle or cross rushing streams to reach the places they wish to examine. Various rock faces and their particular locations, their color, their texture and general characteristics all impart valuable information to the skilled eyes of the geologist. The men push on until the river becomes a mountain stream. But they never cease to observe, to take samples, to test and to evaluate. The party goes to one of the nearby mountain villages to find shelter for the night. Without the help and hospitality and goodwill of the local people, the geologist could do little in this country where there are no roads and a few miles from the coast, no Europeans, except for the occasional passing patrol officer. Meanwhile, one of the carriers takes the knapsack containing the soil samples many miles to the chemist at Kieta. In the laboratory that CRA has established there, the chemist tests numerous samples sent from beyond the rugged mountains, where day after day the prospectors continue their work. Small portions of the soil from the riverbeds are weighed and made into solution. A reagent is added, and as the liquid turns purple, the chemist recognizes the presence of copper and the quality of the sample. The area bounded by the copper-containing rivers must now be examined more closely to define the exact position of any commercially worthwhile deposit. Soil samples must be taken from the ridges and spurs. In this rain-soaked virgin jungle, there are no paths or clearings, and high temperatures and intense humidity add to the hardship, as the geologists struggle for hours up the soft, slippery hillsides. country, these pioneers need energy, integrity, and continuing enthusiasm as they persevere month after month, meticulously working over the hills of Bougainville. As the auger goes down to about 4 feet, the geologists take their various soil samples. The information that is continually gathered is sent to Melbourne head office to build up a picture of the mineral possibilities. Many of the samples also go to Australia for testing in the better equipped laboratories. Once again, the results continue to suggest the possibility of worthwhile copper deposits. At Melbourne, geological maps of the area are made based on information from the field. Reports and maps are constantly analyzed. Drilling on Bougainville is essential, for drilling is still the only method of determining the extent and nature of the deposits on which a practical mining venture depends. The parts for the first drill are carried from Kieta over the high mountains to Panguna, the main prospecting site. Without the help of the people of Bougainville, transport of equipment and food at this stage would be impossible. For 2 days, the carrier train has been walking, with heavy loads over difficult country in hot, humid weather. But as they approach the first camp at Panguna, the way becomes easier. The machinery is quickly assembled, and soon the men have the drill water pump working. Already the men of Bougainville are learning to operate the machine. Other drills arrive, and perched on the steep sides of the mountains, they begin to probe the earth. Again, the skilled help of the local men is essential. The diamond drill bores down foot after foot, for in no other practical way can the depth and nature of any mineral deposit be known. Deep beneath the earth, sometimes well over 1,000 feet, the drill core is gradually brought to the surface. Still, the samples are showing copper, but they still must be analyzed by laboratories in Australia before the real significance of the Panguna prospect is known. Sometimes the driller sees small traces of gold, the mineral that brought the prospectors here many years ago. The jungle is cleared and a camp is established at this isolated site in the tropical hill country. of Bougainville are intelligent and skillful with their hands, and they soon build cool, comfortable houses for the team of geologists and engineers. As more drill sites and camps are set up in the Panguna area, two-way radio becomes essential to link the prospecting groups scattered amongst the unknown hills.
Good morning, Ken. Morning, Ken.
Any word of the helicopter schedule today? Over. Yeah, to Panguna. Morning, Rex. Helicopter leaving pad with drill pipes and fuel.
Call up Parapina and Super Target camps on the way. Over.
Panguna, Kieta. Thanks, Ken. We'll be on the lookout for the helicopter this morning. Over and out.
With the arrival of the helicopters at Bougainville, CRA makes possible a speedy and more economical investigation of the Panguna prospect. In 15 minutes, the helicopter can fly in from the coast, across the forbidding mountains to the little camps beyond, carrying new parts for the machines, fuel and food for technicians and geologists. Before the helicopters, getting to the camp meant 2 hard days walking through the steep jungle country. A journey that was impossible for some of the men who were needed. Clearing in the jungle is all that's necessary for the helicopter to operate. When the work at one drill site is finished, the drill is moved to the next location, and so a pattern of the ore body is slowly established. Again, the helicopter saves hours and days of manpower and drilling time. To move a drill rig a short distance in this type of country is a tremendous undertaking. Night, month after month, the drills probe deeper and deeper, wider and wider. And as the drills are moved from place to place according to a planned pattern, a picture of the extent and value of the mineral body will be established. But until this work is completed, a final evaluation of the Panguna prospect cannot be made. The geophysicist is just one of the numerous scientists and technicians working on Bougainville. CRA's activities have stimulated local trading and created many jobs. Over 300 local people are now employed. Medical care is now provided in the operating area, and various diseases such as tropical ulcers are being controlled. For those who need a doctor, the helicopters are always readily available. It's often impossible for the sick people in the distant villages to walk the long, hard miles to Kieta's hospital on the coast. helicopter lands outside CRA's main camp at Cobweb, where aluminium air-conditioned buildings now stand alongside the picturesque Sexac houses. The island is developing rapidly, and each day more men are needed for skilled jobs. For the young people, there soon could be an outlet for their energies and skills, a future use for the knowledge acquired at school. But if this CRA prospect becomes Panguna Mine, wealth and progress for Bougainville and New Guinea will follow. The story never ends, and the geologist's work never finishes. Every day, vast quantities of minerals are being taken from the earth, and new mines must be found. CRA's geologists are prospecting in other parts of New Guinea, as they continue to do throughout Australia as well. The men still push through unknown country by boat or on foot, as they've always done. And some of the sampling methods are still the same as those used by the old Australian gold prospectors many years ago. Tests can now be made on location, and laboratories have become mobile. A helicopter operates from CRA's ship Fraser, where men live and work for months on end as they move along new coasts searching for minerals. But in spite of improved techniques and new methods of transport, the same spirit of continuing enthusiasm drives on the men who search for the minerals demanded by the world of tomorrow.